What's good, YouTube? Today I'd like to start a discussion. I'd like to hear from all of you if you can in the comment section, male and female views alike. The question I have is, are men and women equal mentally, and what roles does that play on gender dynamic? I'm not afraid to say that I believe men and women are not actually equal. Men and women, in my opinion, are opposite sides of the same coin, or at least we should be. In other words, you can't have one without the other. Women possess a certain skill set, likewise do men. So why is it that women have gotten so caught up in supposedly keeping up with men? There are limitations for both genders. In a study published by the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States, they found clear and definitive evidence that confirm common stereotypes about men and women's behavior. I'll leave a link for the study in the description box. The Guardian newspaper published an article based on those findings, and I'll quickly go through that with you guys. Maps of neural circuitry show women's brains are suited to social skills and memory, men's perception and coordination. Scientists have drawn on nearly 1,000 brain scans to confirm what many had surely concluded long ago, that stark differences exist in the wiring of male and female brains. Maps of neural circuitry showed that on average, women's brains were highly connected across the left and right hemispheres, in contrast to men's brains, where the connections were typically stronger between the front and back regions. Rajini Verma, a researcher at the University of Pennsylvania, said that the greatest surprise was how much the findings supported old stereotypes, with men's brains apparently wired more for perception and coordination actions, and women's for social skills and memory, making them better equipped for multitasking. I'm going to pause here for a second. Is it me, or does she already come across slightly salty? She states, and I quote, men's brains apparently wired for perception and coordinated actions. She seems shocked, like she doesn't believe her own findings. Like she did all this work and then has the findings, and then when she tells the first person she seems shocked. Then she goes on to say, women's for social skills and memory, making them better equipped for multitasking. Who asked her about that? And who would a woman be trying to be better than, and why would it be a man? That right there is the foundation for my question. Even when not asked or in an open competition with men, women always seem to be trying to one-up men. Verma continues to say, if you look at functional studies, the left of the brain is more for logical thinking, the right of the brain is more for intuitive thinking. So if there's a task that involves doing both of those things, it would seem that women are hardwired to do those better. Verma also states women are better at intuitive thinking, women are better at remembering things. When you talk to women, they're more emotionally involved and they will listen more. She adds to that, I was surprised that it matched a lot of the stereotypes that we think we have in our heads. If I wanted to go to a chef or a hairstylist, they are mainly men. Congratulations, Verma. If I was to go to a hospital or a restaurant, the nurses and servers would mainly be women. But somehow she managed to leave that part out. The findings come from one of the largest studies to look at how brains are wired in healthy males and females. The maps give scientists a more complete picture of what counts as normal for each sex at various ages. Armed with the maps, they hope to learn more about whether abnormalities in brain connectivity affect brain disorders such as schizophrenia and depression. Verma's team used a technique called diffusion tensor imaging to map neural connections in the brains of 428 males and 521 females aged 8 to 22. The neural connections are much like a road system over which the brain's traffic travels. The scans showed greater connectivity between the left and right sides of the brain in women, while the connections in men were mostly confined in individual hemispheres. The only region where men had more connections between the left and right sides of the brain was in the cerebellum, which plays a vital role in motor control. If you want to learn how to ski, it's the cerebellum that has to be strong, Verma said. Details of the study are published in the journal's proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Male and female brains showed few differences in connectivity up to the age of 13, but became more differentiated in 14 to 17-year-olds. It's quite striking how complementary brains of women and men really are, Ruben Gurr, a co-author on the study, said in a statement. Detailed connectome maps of the brain will not only help us better understand the differences between how men and women think, but it will also give us more insight into the roots of neurological disorders, which are often sex-related. Okay, so there you have it. The study was conducted in 2013, and the team was comprised of men and women, so the findings couldn't be biased. Even at this level of scientific knowledge possessed by the individuals involved in this study, the female researcher, Regina Verma, seemed to be dumbfounded with the findings. She almost seemed emotional. Then we have her male counterpart, Ruben Gurr, who clearly can separate his feelings from the findings, and what he finds fascinating is how men and women complement each other neurologically. Spends no time on who's better at what. There it is, folks. Science backs all of the stereotypes that have been floating around forever. When feminists and women understand it's not about being a man, it's about playing your part, knowing your role. With gender comes great responsibility. So remember, guys, there's a war going on out there that no man is safe from. Keep your head up. Snarky out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.